good evening. This is Abigail Karmalim bringing to you the news and events in Meghalaya from Bosco Media Network. Here are the headlines for today. National Press Day celebrated in the state. Khasi New Year celebrated. Draft electoral roll distributed in Jainta Hills. And Meghalaya Chief Electoral Officer F.R. Kharkongor releases a special summary revision of photo electoral rolls for East Khasi Hills Assembly constituencies. And now the news in detail. Along with the rest of the country, the National Press Day 2020 was also celebrated today at Shillong on the theme Role of Media During the COVID-19 Pandemic and Its Impact on Media. The function was organized by the Shillong Press Club and supported by the Directorate of Information and Public Relations, Meghalaya, in which Mr. James P.K. Sangma, Minister of Information and Public Relations, attended the program as the chief guest. The program was also attended by Srimati M. Nongri, Secretary Information and Public Relations Department, Mr. B.S. Solia, Director Information and Public Relations, Mr. R.M. Shabong, President Meghalaya Editors and Publishers Association, Mr. David Lightplum, President Shillong Press Club, Dr. Chayanika Sarma, Consultant Psychiatrist, Supercare Hospital Shillong, and members of press fraternity. Addressing the gathering virtually from New Delhi, Mr. Sangma said that an independent press is an integral element of democracy and it is a key stakeholder in every form of government by virtue of its duty to inform, communicate, educate and engage the public for the purpose of sustainable development and social unification. That is why we all know it is the fourth pillar of democracy, added Mr. Sangma. Congratulating and acknowledging the immense contribution made by the media in these difficult and uncertain times in providing accurate information to the public by risking their lives during this global pandemic, Mr. Sangma underscores the importance of the media in providing reliable and accurate information about COVID-19 pandemic. Others who spoke on the occasion were Srimati M. Nongri, Mr. B.S. Solia, Mr. David Lightplum and Dr. Chayanika Sarma. Later, the members of the media joined the webinar organized by the Press Council of India, New Delhi, on the theme Role of Media During the COVID-19 Pandemic and Its Impact on Media, held at New Delhi.
And its impact on the media, and has, matter of fact, invited Dr. Chayanika Sharma, the consultant psychiatrist of Supercare Hospital, to address the issue of mental health on this important day. The UN Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, recently declared that no one can take the place of the media during this pandemic in providing the public with information and analysis and in countering rumors and distortions. I am unquote. This is such an important statement that he has made. He basically underscores the importance of the press and the media in providing reliable and accurate information about COVID-19 and undertaking independent critique of responses to the crisis. We have all seen how damaging and detrimental misinformation can be, especially during a time like COVID. While journalists, along with other frontline workers, have been at the forefront of the fight against the pandemic, little is spoken about the impact of COVID-19 on the mental health of journalists who, along with the healthcare professionals, perform an equally important task in the fight against the pandemic. A global survey of 1,400 English-speaking journalists in 125 countries found that the COVID-19 crisis has had major psychological and emotional impact on the members of the press fraternity. In fact, more than 80% of respondents exhibited at least one negative psychological effect, including anxiety, burnout, difficulty in sleeping, and a sense of helplessness. Whether it's burnout from working extra hours, mental stress on account of layoffs at many news publications, David had mentioned in Meghalaya also, or countering misinformation spreading on social media platforms. The health crisis has placed extra pressure on an industry already facing multiple challenges. The pandemic has compounded these challenges while generating even more uncertainty. Most journalists are now working from home, unable to meet with colleagues, sometimes contacts or subjects. Some are overwhelmed with responsibilities, um, and as they attempt to deliver news timely.
Meghalaya Chief Electoral Officer F.R. Kharkongor today released the special summary revision of photo electoral rolls for the 15 assembly constituencies of East Kasils district. The special summary revision of photo electoral rolls, which includes the assembly constituencies of Maukenrao, Pinthor, Maulai, East Shillong, North Shillong, South Shillong, Midlame, Nongthamai, Soyong, Mauplang, Mausinram, Pinusla and Maurinkening, was released at a function held at the office of the Deputy Commissioner in Shillong. The representatives belonging to different political parties also gave their suggestions so that genuine citizens are enrolled in the electoral roll. The special summary revision of photo electoral rolls are made available in all the offices of the BDOs to enable the voters to make their claims and objections from today onwards till the 15th of December this year. Speaking on the occasion, Meghalaya Chief Electoral Officer F.R. Kharkongor encouraged people to enroll themselves in the electoral roll through online facilities provided by the Election Department. Online registration is the best as the people can enroll themselves without going to the office of BDOs, Kharkongor said. Mr. Kharkongor also released the voter guide issued by the Election Commission of India to be strictly observed at polling stations during the election. He also gave away the kits to booth level officers, which include face masks to be used during election. The Deputy Commissioner of East Kasils District, Isawanda Lalu, also spoke on the occasion.
A test case in Meghalaya as well as in the other states, and we strive to ensure, along with the office of the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, to put in those protocols in place, to put in all the extant COVID-19 protocols, and by God's grace, it went on incident-free without any problem. So this became the platform for the Election Commission to come out with these broad guidelines. So that experience, which we had during the Rajya Sabha elections, that served as the platform for bringing out these broad guidelines, which are now the standard guidelines for all future elections. We just had the polls in Bihar just a couple of weeks ago, where you saw lakhs of people exercising their franchise, and the number of polling stations had increased. The number of voters was restricted to only 1,000 maximum per polling station. In our state, I think there are very few polling stations which go up to 1,000, but in those cases where there is tendency for those polling stations to go up to 1,000, we will be again reviewing and also revisiting various protocols. So COVID-19, as mentioned by our friends from the political parties, has made everyone, including all the election machinery, to revisit the 3 Ps: protocols, processes, and procedures. So this is being constantly revisited in the light of the COVID-19. So it's still, it's still evolving. We saw that we just had the US elections. I think all of you must have witnessed all the discussions about the US elections. In fact, from the Election Commission, they had brought out a document also of the various international experiences of combating COVID-19 and how to hold elections in the midst of COVID-19.
These are the broad guidelines under which any new elections or by-elections from henceforth will be conducted according to these guidelines.
Which contain the integrated draft photo electoral rules to the political parties at the same time.
In light of the current situation, the Khasi New Year celebration, which was supposed to be held on 27th of October 2020, was postponed. However, despite all odds, on the midday of 15th of November 2020, the auspicious celebration was finally conducted at Riti Academy Gallery, Jayao Umsning GS Road, near Rapsang RGI building, with requisite protocols being taken impeccably as per notification. The Khasi New Year celebration was graced by the presence of Spitin Karakor, Herman Nongrum, Munish Singh, Rafael Wajri, among others. Laying emphasis on the imperative need of the Khasi community to preserve our cultural heritage, he stated that we need not adapt to other culture, we should be proud of our own. We try to promote the culture in the form of songs, writings and dance. Such endeavour will help keep the culture alive and we should be proud. Rafael Wajri on Sunday the 15th of November informed that the Khasi New Year and the celebration was supposedly to be continued till the 16th. But given the global pandemic, holding such a festive event was not feasible. Sharing light on the foundation of the Khasi New Year, it all started during the commemoration of late B. Nishan Walang Death anniversary taking place at Riti Academy Gallery on the 27th of October 2018. It was based traditional lunar year calculation as well as cultural market days, and it was uttered that the calendar year of the Khasis have 8 days a week, which is almost parallel with the Gregorian calendar.
Khasi culture here, and we try to promote it through dance, music, painting, and many other ways of art and culture. So I believe that with this endeavor, we will be able to move on more, bringing a consciousness, to all the societies here that it's high time for us to relook and to more, firm with our own way of thought, our own unique culture, and be proud of it. Thank you very much.
My name is Herman Nongrum. Oh yes. We are celebrating this day as the New Year night. We are waiting for the New Year day to come at midnight of 15 November, and the celebration was supposed to continue till tomorrow, 16 of November. But because of COVID-19, it is not possible on our part to make any celebration tomorrow. Yes, we have a different calculation in terms of the calendar year of the Khasis. The calculation is on the basis that unlike the Gregorian calendar, where you have 7 days a week, in the Khasi calendar we have 8 days a week. Starting from the Sngi Yodo till Sngi Umni. If you calculate, it comes 8 days, not 7 days. So this is the basis. This is the basis on which the calculation of the Khasi New Year Day is being done.
Jinges lok ko iba harman badalang ini kawai na ski ko badega sni lengko sni yap jangi payungi di harta sni kira keren ini para bangba kira ini kaya jimut lalu bertawan lakhiran pene pensa ini kan sni pun ke sni sen mayung kan jadi begini ngar kombo we bola samlang ba yun ya snow tilang kaki pat nga snow sunai nga snow kemen nga snow sirhem bagi air yang sini nga ba ngaro lembaga ni ka sunjuk demi di akademi ilalaban penolong ni ki kami gidan demi da bari kalenda di bat mental ski ke ski ke ban ungen na sudan bana Parpasai, sibit, stensnya, dan sedih bahwa unit mayu benai penuh kejikstan juga ni senang berbentak.
The draft electoral rolls for the 4 assembly constituencies, Nartiang Assembly Constituency, Jowai Assembly Constituency, Graliang Assembly Constituency and Mukayao Assembly Constituency were released and distributed today to the representatives of political parties by the Additional Deputy Commissioner Shri P.K. Boro in the Conference Room, DC Office, Jowai. Srimati Didi Sangai, Extra Assistant Commissioner Election, BLOs and staff of Election Branch were also present. Briefing the representative, P.K. Boro said that the draft electoral roll is to ensure that all eligible citizens who have attained the age of 18 years on the qualifying date 1st January 2021 get themselves enrolled. He encouraged citizens who have attained the required age to come forward and get themselves enrolled through their respective polling stations, as the BLOs will be available in all identified and notified polling stations. He also called for cooperation from all political parties for accurate and free electoral roll. Srimati Didi Sangai, EAC election, mentioned that during the period from 16th November to 15th December 2020, eligible citizens can get themselves enrolled, or those who want to make deletion, objection and correction may submit in Form 6, 7, 8 or 8A as may be appropriate. For the better interest and benefit of the public during this pandemic, the Office of the Deputy Commissioner Election Branch Jowai came out with a music video album creating awareness on the need of enrolling in the electoral roll. The music video album was arranged by Shri Ruhi Pawa, Sam Sawa Production, song composed by Shri Lenor Pawa. Shri P.K. Boro, ADC, launched the music video album today and also distributed the draft rolls to representatives of the different political parties.
We are targeting that all citizens who are eligible, who have attained 18 years of age as on 1/1/2021, they are to enroll themselves by filling the relevant forms, and also during this summary revision period, anyone who wants to make any corrections in their epic or in the electoral roll, or anyone who wants to have the name of
With the prevailing issues of illegal collection of money by the check gates in the 4 districts of the state, the EM in charge of the Khasi Autonomous District held an emergent meeting wherein it was informed by the CEM Tito Starwell Khan that transparent and conspicuous stringent instructions will be issued to all concerned officials and lessees posted at these gates. The council will prepare and formulate a detailed rate accordingly. It was uttered that perpetual exploitation for profit by overcharging the rate of different items formulated and fixed by the council was taken place. If the alike occurrence takes place yet again, arduous stern action will be taken against as stated by the CEM. If one is to be found guilty of such illegal activities, their license shall be revoked. Furthermore, a decision was taken that beat officers and forest gates shall conduct thorough checking and scrutinization on trucks trading timber for transit pass, without which the vehicle will be seized. However, should the beat officers fail to follow suit the order, a suspension notification could be issued.
Hakatagasni nginsa ay instruction. Siya baro kini ginawa gigit ka strict instruction. Pan haga juga pun nakaliang ke department kin penkre yaki read kat kum bangila aiteng ninang ai biang mentaru bakim dai ban simpalat ya kador kabalabu taga dai ka rai nakaliang ke jungi bat ngin khadlo dikulisi ban ai ka strict instruction ka warning waklai balada lap biang nang ni syakmat bat kisadanru ki surprise inspection hakanu no kapon nakaliang ke jungi IM niki officer ki bangin bu kerpang bakin lek ke surprise checking ni gigit balada ngilam ba kishim BI kishim pu taput lani kishim klemrai ngimban si ban sim da ka bateng bakata kalong wat ban khang no yaki nakaliang iya mencari sa khotlut iki nongwai Ba kumjuru ia ki beat officer lani itu ki in charge. Ki be in charge ki beat. Ba nang ni syakman. Ba baro ki forest check gear badan. Ki di ban check lut ia ki trok ki ba kip be an ia ki dir. Ki bamdan ia ki tipi. Ki bamdan ia ki tipi. Ki officer ki jongi ki day ban sis ia kini kali. Dan akaun hapok bang. Mentaman ke dor basnong ngidon akaun hapok bang. Ki bang ki pan ia ka pankat. Ki pan ia ki pankat. Kila sedang man pankat na ki balang, la sedang man pan na ki seng, mentah kila sedang man pan na ki dor basnong. But lada ki dor basnong pat kilay ban apply ya kani ke pankat na po income tax. Ke income tax ka ong. Ba hiday ban register kum ki society. Kari kan bu ka jingma. Bang ibu ka jingkeli. Balay indon kam pankat yangi ki local authority. Ki dor basnong hiday ki local authority ki jongi. Kibala itu ada ke constitution. Tena tak ada mila penkre ya kini ke notification. Na kaliang jongi ke F2 committee pangin pak syabaro ki bang bakim day ban ya ki pankat na ki local darbasnong ki jongi namar ki don ki day ki local authority kat kum ki ak pakibu jong ki an ki badon bagai district council. Na takadaw kimde man pan ya ki pankat na ki dobas. Ang kata ka karay ko ba? Leadership. Like no. Kattu kan ni swaga Christmas ya ke area jong ki nongtre ya ke area jong ki pensioner ya ke area jong ki member swa jong ka Christmas.
Let us now have a glimpse of COVID-19 update for today. So viewers, we have come to the end of today's edition. Thank you for being with us.